Fine. So the discussion is Mitzvos b'telis la'aseh lovei. So meaning that now we have Torah mitzvahs, we have our avodah, our work we need to do, and when Mashiach comes, that's going to be the ikr time of Kimat Torah mitzvahs. Finally, we're going to have all the problems, Yisahar, all things that bother us are going to go away. We're going to be able to do Torah mitzvahs properly. The question is, after that happens, once that's over, once Eilam Haba happens and Tchias HaMesim, do we still need to keep the Torah and mitzvahs, or do we say that all the work is over and we're done? So this is a machlekes in the Gemara, and it's also a machlekes in the Rishonim how to understand this Gemara. So the Gemara is a Nida, Daf Samach Aleph Amar Aleph, and the Gemara says a statement over there that mitzvahs b'teilus haselovim. So I'll read inside. The Gemara says, Tan Rabbanon, Beged she'avad by kilayim. If kilayim got mixed into a beged and you don't know where it is, so you can't take it out, so you can't wear it, what should you do? Le'im keren levik echavim. You can't sell it to a goy because you might sell it to a yid. The lo yasenu mardas, and you shouldn't use it as a saddle because that's also considered having hana from the kilayim. Mardas lachamar. Aval, what could you do with it? Aval ismi menu tachrichin lameis. You could use this beged that has kilayim in it to bury a mace. So the Gemara says a radical statement. Omar Rav Yosef, Zoisei Meres Mitzvos b'teilus la'aseh lovei. From this halacha that you're allowed to bury a mace with a beged of kilayim, this teaches me that mitzvahs are going to be batal la'aseh lovei. Oh, so what's the raya? So what's the raya for la'aseh lovei? So before we do the next piece, we'll look at the Ritva in the second Maramakim. It says the raya is because we know la'aseh lovei by Tchias HaMesim they're going to stand up and they're going to still be wearing the clothes with the kilayim. How could that be? So it must be that by Tchias HaMesim they're not going to be chayiv.
Just got up as his first sin.
Yeah, so it must be that they're not going to be chayiv in mitzvahs then. The second Maramakim, the Ritva says, Pirshu harishonim la'aseh lovei lezman Tchias HaMesim. That la'aseh lovei means by Tchias HaMesim. This is what it means that it says that mitzvahs are b'teilus la'aseh lovei. If not so, how can you make for them a beged of kilayim? The Gemara says in Ksubis that mesim she'asi l'hakadosh baruch hu l'hachyeson, that the mason which the Eibusha will bring back to life, b'levushein oimdin, they will come back with their clothing. If so, if by Tchias HaMesim you're going to stand up with their clothes, v'nimsu loivshin kilayim ba'isasha. Turns out by Tchias HaMesim they're going to be wearing kilayim. So how could this be? Ela vadai mitzvahs b'teilus la'aseh lovei. Rather, you have to say that la'aseh lovei mitzvahs are going to be b'teilus, and that's why there is no problem of burying him with their kilayim. That's why there is no problem. So back to the Gemara. So this is the Raya. This is the Shitta. This is what Rav Yosef says. Now the Gemara brings a opinion that disagrees. Amar le Abaye, the Isema Rav Dimi. He challenged him. Amar Rav Mani, Amar Rav Yanai. Mani said the name of Rav Yanai. That lo shanu ela l'softei. When are you allowed to put a beggar with kilayim on a maze? Dafka when they're doing the hesped. When they're just doing it for cover, it's not really wearing it. They're just doing it for the hesped. Aval l'kovrei aser. L'kovrei is aser. How could Rav Yosef say it's mutter? So Amar le, he answered him, Lav itmar Allah, but do we not say about this at Amar Rav Yechanan afilu l'kovrei? We said Rav Yechanan disagrees. He says it's mutter even to be kover him. And Rav Yechanan l'taimei, and Rav Yechanan goes according to his own reasoning. The Amar Rav Yechanan, mai dechsiv v'meisim chafshi. What does the pasuk mean that says that dead people are free? That means kivin shemeis asam nase chafshi mina mitzvahs. Once a person passes away, he's chafshi, he's pater from the mitzvahs, and also la'aseh lovei. When they come back by Tchias HaMesim, they're still going to be pater from the mitzvahs.
By the way, it's not halacha. You don't change it.
The what?
You don't change it.
Oh, right, because we paskin that you're allowed to bury them with a beged kilayim. So this is how the Ritva learns the Gemara. They have a chlekes whether la'aseh lovei mitzvahs are going to be batal or not. And we're going to see soon the Rashba argues. He says you can't say that's pshat. You can't say the mitzvahs are going to change. But before that, the Ritva brings another proof from another Gemara that la'aseh lovei mitzvahs are going to be batal. How so? From where? So there's a Gemara in Shabbos, Kufnun Aleph Amud Beis, in the third Maramakim. The Gemara brings a pasuk. It says, "Zechor es beirecha b'mei bachrusecha." Remember the Eibusher, do mitzvahs while you're young. Ad asher lo yavo yimei hara, before the bad times come. So yimei hara, the Gemara says, Elu yimei hazikna. These are the old days when you're old. You don't have so much koyach to do mitzvahs. What? So it says, Chafarai, do it while you're still young. Later, you're not going to have so much koyach. Make sure you keep the mitzvahs now. So v'higiu shanim ashetayim ainli behem chayfetz, and you should do the mitzvahs while young, before the days come when the Eibusher says, I have no more desire in them. So when is that the Eibusher says you have no more desire in your mitzvahs? Eilu yemei hamashiach. This is after Mashiach comes. She'em behem leis chus v'lei chayva. After Mashiach comes, there's no chus, no chayv. There's no avedus, there's no mitzvahs. So the Ritva says, you see clear from this Gemara that there's going to be no more mitzvahs after Mashiach comes. Like Tchias HaMesim. And the Gemara says a plig of the Shmuel, and this is arguing with Shmuel. The Amar Shmuel ein bein ha'il mazil mois haMashiach ela shibun malchias bavad. That there is no change between now and Yemei HaMashiach, except for who's going to be ruling. Shenem, like it says, ki yechtal evim mikerev aretz. There will always be poor people in the land. So you see that things won't change. So too the mitzvahs aren't going to change. We're always going to have the mitzvahs. So this is how the Ritva learns the Gemara, that it's talking about, that it says that after by Tchias Mason, there's not going to be Schus and Chayva, there's not going to be any mitzvahs. So Chav right now, while you can still do the Torah mitzvahs. So, Be'emes, if you look at Rashi learns the Gemara differently, that there isn't a raya for the Ritva. Rashi learns, what does it mean that you should Chav and do mitzvahs? It's talking about not all mitzvahs, it's talking about tzedakah. So you should Chav and do tzedakah now, because also the when Mashiach comes, everyone's going to be rich. You're not going to be able to give tzedakah. You're not going to be able to talk about tzedakah. Right? Rashi says, "Lo yischus, lo davar lizchus boy." You're not going to have anything to be zeichud. That shekulam ashirim. Everyone's going to be rich. And v'lo chayva, you won't be able to do averis. Meaning, amit slave lik peitziyad. You won't be able to do the aver of being stingy and not giving money to poor people, because there aren't going to be any poor people. So the way Rashi learns that the Rashi learns different than the Ritva. The Ritva learns this Gemara that it's talking about that there isn't going to be Averis Lasulavi or Mitzvahs. But Rashi learns differently, that it's saying that you won't be able to do Tzedakah. But the other Mitzvahs you will be able to do. Fine. So now back to we had the Gemara. The Gemara said before Mitzvahs Peos Lasulavi. How do we know this? From the fact that you're allowed to bury a mace with kilayim. So, and the Ritva Taisha means literally that when Meshava by Tchias Mason, we're not going to be Chayv Mitzvahs. So, but the Rashba argues. The Rashba disagrees, and he says that you can't say that the Mitzvahs are going to change. The Mitzvahs are going to be Chayv in the Mitzvahs even when Mashiach comes. Elamai, what does the Gemara mean? What does the Gemara mean that Lasi Lovely, there's not going to be Mitzvahs, so they're going to be Batal? It means while the person is a mace, while the person is not alive. Lasid Lavi, meaning in the future, when the person passes away, that's when he's going to be pater from mitzvahs. But when he comes back to life, at Tchias Mason, of course he's going to be chayv mitzvahs. So the fourth Maramakim, the Rashba Chidushei Agadis in Brachas says, "Mitzvahs betelis la'asi lavi sha'amru." This that they said is going to be batal biuri la'achar hamavetz mamish, meaning after the person passes away. But that the mason, while they are still a mess, they are pturim min mitzvahs. They are not obligated mitzvahs. And this is why they bring the pasuk, the raya from the pasuk, nakasav the mason chafshi. That mason, the dead people are free. That kivan shemesa adam nasa chafshi min mitzvahs. So the Rashba takes away all the excitement. He says it's not how you thought it's talking about. It just means simple. It means that while the person is not alive, he's pater from the mitzvahs.
You need a pasuk to tell us that. What exactly can he do?
Okay, so,
he's a mess.
So perfect. So that's the next question that Rashba addresses. He says, obviously, I'm saying he's not chayv in mitzvahs. He can't tell him to do anything. He's a mace. And also, what's the arguing opinion, right? We saw in the Gemara there's a opinion that argues and said you're not allowed to bury a dead person with kilayim because there is an issue over here. I guess he says mitzvahs aren't batal. So what does he hold? He holds out a mace. Is chayv in mitzvahs? What's going on? Like, what's the chiddush of the opinion that says you're not allowed to do it in mitzvahs?
Not Kloyim when he wakes up. Kloyim even when he's dead.
Yes, you see. So the way the Rashi was learning, you see that Rav Yanai holds that there's an isser to have kilayim on him even while he's dead. But how can he say that a dead person is chayiv in mitzvahs? So the Rashba teaches that means that he's chayiv in mitzvahs. He says it's similar to a katan, a child. A child is patur from mitzvahs. If a child goes and eats chazer treif, you see a kid using chazer in the street, you're not obligated to stop him. But you're still not allowed to feed him something treif. Is this relay sechilim? You're not allowed to feed him something treif, even though the kid is allowed to. The kid does it himself. He's not doing a avera. So too, the Rashba says similarly, according to Rav Yanai, he says even though the mace is not chayv in mitzvahs because there's no one there, there's no one to talk to, you can't tell him to do anything, but there still is an isser on the person to feed it, to feed treif to him, to put a beged kilayim on him. So this is how the Rashba learns, and this is what the argument over here is. You might think that this is isser for us to do a isser to a dead person. So in the fifth Maramakim, if you're going to ask, if we're talking about while he's dead, how could Rav Ami argue and say that he's not potter? There are no mitzvahs for a dead person. So he says, according to Rav Ami, this tinnik is like a child who never reached a chiv of mitzvahs mitzad himself. Which then aim based in Sumah Frisha. If all the Rabbanim see him doing something else, or I'll be pushed to the din, they're not obligated to say anything. And nevertheless, we are obligated, where we are warned not to feed him something not kosher b'yadayim. We're not allowed to make him do a isser on purpose.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is So when the Gemara says, so the Chiddush when it says you're allowed to put kilayim on a mace, is that you might think that you're not allowed to do, even though he's patur from mitzvahs, you're not allowed to do a isser to him. And the other opinion that argues says that no, there's an isser to do. You're not allowed to do a isser to a dead person, just like a child. So this is how the Rambam explains the Rashba explains it. So the next issue the Rashba needs to address is that the Gemara in Ksubas says that when by Tchias Mason people are going to come back with their clothes on. By Tchias Mason, come back with their clothes. So fine. So there's no problem wearing kilayim while they're buried. But when it comes to Tchias Mason, according to the Gemara says, Rabbi Yochanan says you're allowed to bury a dead person with a beged of kilayim. By Tchias Mason, he's gonna be doing an isser. Why are you allowed to bury him with kilayim? So the Rashba gives two answers. Either you have to say that this opinion, the opinion that holds you allowed to bury him with kilayim, holds that the Mason are not going to come by Tchias Mason, not going to be wearing clothes. They're going to have to they have to go find clothes, or then maybe they'll be like Chedem Chedei Sadas, they'll have Kisnei Seder, I don't know. And so either you're going to have to, they disagree. The opinion says they're going to come back with their that you're allowed to put kilayim holds that they're not going to be wearing their clothes, and the opinion that says they're going to come back with their clothes holds that you're not allowed to put the kilayim on them. Or a second answer that Ashwa says is that it doesn't mean literally the exact same clothes you buried them with. They're going to come back wearing clothes. What? The Eibusher is going to make them tchasei, just like the Eibusher brings their body back. The Eibusher is going to bring their clothes back. So he says, Allah, you're going to have to say it doesn't mean they're going to come back with the exact same clothes with that thread of kilayim inside of it. They're going to be wearing clothes. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. So there's a simple way of answering it. So whatever, that was a 6 Maramakim. And so this is the argument we have. So now the Rashba challenges the opinion that says that mitzvahs are going to be batal. He says we have a clear story of Tchias HaMesim that happened, and still those people who came back to life were still chayv mitzvah, were still did mitzvahs. So he says it contradicts the opinion of people who say mitzvahs are going to be batal. So what is the story? So it's the Gemara in Sanhedrin, in Sanhedrin Beis and Beis, in the 7th Maramakim. The Gemara says, Rabbi Eliezer b'noi shal Rabbi Yesi Haglili Omer. He said that Meisim shehechye Yecheskel, that Yecheskel, by the story about that some say Veishas by Yecheskel when he did Tchias HaMeisim, what happened to those people? This is machlekes of what happened to them. So Rabbi Eliezer says that Olu Eretz Yisrael, they went up to Eretz Yisrael, the Nasu Nashim, they got married, they lidu banim ubanis, and they had children. They lived regular lives just like everyone else. After he said that, Omar Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseiro, Aranglav, he stood up on his feet. Omar Ani mi bnei bneihem, I am from their great grandchildren. V'halalu tefillin sheiniach li avi abba mehem, and these tefillin that I have, my grandfather gave them to me, which was from them, from those mason. So you see that these mason, which Yecheskel brought back to life, they were putting on tefillin, they were keeping mitzvahs. So Chayra seems not like the way the Ritva was saying. Oh, yeah. So I'll say. So this is the question you see that they kept mitzvahs. So the Ritva gives two answers. First answer is like you just said, that's not the final, the ultimate Tchias HaMesim. When we say mitzvahs v'teil, some kind of the ultimate Tchias HaMesim, Lasa Lavai. So that's in the 8th Maramakim. He writes, Chado, Shalei Amru mitzvahs v'teilas min HaMesim, Elo l'Tchias HaMesim. Ha'asid Lavai, the future, the final Tchias HaMesim, Shehei Seif Hakol, which that's going to be at the end of days. Ha'v'karina bei hayem la'seisam. And we say that now is when you have to do the mitzvahs. In the time of Kabbalah Schar, when Tchias HaMesim is going to happen, that is when we say that mitzvahs v'teilis. Aval b'tchias HaMesim shal meisei Yecheskel, but Tchias HaMesim of the Mesim of Yecheskel, shalei hayu ela b'miksa, so it was only for a small amount of people. Lei batul Torah mitzvahs. The Torah mitzvahs didn't become batul. Shahari lei hayu lahem Tchias HaMesim. Gemura, they didn't have a complete Tchias HaMesim, the Kabbalah Schar. It wasn't a reward for them. Shahari lidu banim, the Gam chazul off from these. They had children, they lived regular lives, and then they went back and they passed away. So it wasn't the final Tchias HaMesim. That's why over there we don't say. That's why they were still chayiv in mitzvahs. Mashenkin was also lovely. We say mitzvahs b'teilis. This is one answer he gives. The second answer he gives is also a very nice answer. He says that when he says mitzvahs b'teilis to also lovely, it means we're not going to be chayiv in mitzvahs when Mashiach comes. But does it mean we're not actually going to be doing them? Are we not going to be putting on tefillin by Tchias HaMesim? He says no. Even though we're not going to be chayiv, he says it's going to be just like the Avos. The Avos weren't chayiv in mitzvahs, but they still kept the whole Torah. The Torah mitzvah is such a helik ezach. They did it anyways.
That was only Beruchnius.
Okay. No, but they're going to put on regular tefillin. Oh, so that's the second answer he gives. That's the second answer. Yeah, he wants to say that Taka Losa Lovely doesn't mean by Mesim Yecheskel they Taka weren't chayiv, but they did it anyways. And Losa Lovely were also going to do the mitzvahs anyways, even though we're not chayiv in them. So he writes weiter, V'oid Kimash Amar Mitzvahs B'Teilas Losa Lovely Hainu Shaliyu Chayavin Lamid Behemis. That means we're not going to be mechuyev, obligated to do it. Aval mikol mokem yesh mitzvahs kedushis, but you have helik mitzvahs kein tefillin sheinagu behen ba'atzmon that we're going to do on our own anyways. Mipnei shtei musan because the greatness of it, the tifartan and the beauty. Not because we have to. The Avos were only chayiv in sheva mitzvahs. V'kaimu kol ha'Torah kula, and they still kept the whole Torah anyways. So the Ritva says, so too is going to be L'aseh Lavai, and also by Mesi Yecheskel, that even though we're not chayiv in mitzvahs, they did the mitzvahs anyways. So this is how he answers that question. And the last question we have to still address over here is that the Ritva says, and also the Rashba challenges that what's the big problem you get into if you say that Tchias and that mitzvah is going to be batal L'aseh Lavai, is that then what's the big problem? He says, then what's the big problem with what the Goyim say about Yoshka? They say Mashiach came and now mitzvahs are batal, we don't have to keep them anymore. So he says, now that we're saying this is v'teilos, and maybe the Goyim are going to have a taina, they're going to say, you see that maybe you don't have to keep the mitzvahs anymore. So he says, no, it's not. That's what they taina. They taina. Yoshka came and now you don't have to keep the mitzvahs anymore. Mashiach came. So saying, what's going on over here? So he says, no, there's no comparison to what we say and what they say. In the 9th Maramakim, the Ritva says, Bim lachashach min mitalmide Yeshu. One of the Talmidim of Yashka are going to whisper to you, and they're going to try to make you sveikos. I'm going to tell you, Leimar, Kivan Shah Mitzvos Betelos Lasid Lovei. Since mitzvahs are going to be bottom when Mashiach comes, Nimsa Shalei Nitina Torah El Zman. You see that the mitzvahs are only temporarily. Therefore, Yashka Taka wasn't a problem. I'll tell you that Yashka took away from the study. You don't have to keep the mitzvahs anymore. So he says, you'll answer him back. Someone who's misupag about himself. He's unsure of himself. He doesn't know what he's talking about, says such a thing. Why? It's never Muslim. The Torah is not temporarily. The Torah is given forever. The Torah is forever, as meaning as long as this world, the way we have it now, the same world we are, exists the way it is now, the Taka we're going to be chayiv in this place. It's never going to change. In this world we have good things, bad things, you have Avedas and Mitzvahs, Taka is never going to change. As long as this world, the way we have it now, is here, and nothing changes, we're going to be chayiv mitzvahs. But in the world, when there's no mitzvahs and no avedas, it's automatically going to become batul. So he's saying, as long as the world we have the same world the way it is now, nothing changed, mitzvahs are forever. Elamai Lasid Lavi is going to be a different veil. Things are going to be different. Then mitzvahs are batul. So there's no time that Yashka came and nothing changed. Everything's running the same way it was before. And one more word, the Rebbe has a very geschmack taich in mitzvahs betelis lasid lovei. The Rebbe says take mitzvahs betelis, but it's not kipshutei. Doesn't mean literally that we're not going to be chayiv in mitzvahs. The Rebbe says that a mitzvah has two things. A command is two things. There's the ratzin, the Eibusher wants you to do something, and then there's step two is that since you're a separate person from the Eibusher wants you to do something. How does he get you to do it? He has to tell you. He's not going to know unless he tell you. Meila, the Eibusher has to tell you to do it. So it's two parts. When we say mitzvahs are batul, it means that because Lasid Lovei, we're going to be so one with the Eibusher. It's going to be Hashem Echad Shmei Echad. The whole world is going to be batul to the Eibusher's ratzin. That the Eibusher is not going to have to tell us to do something. The mitzvahs are going to stay. The ratzin of the Eibusher, the fact that the Eibusher wants us to put on tefillin, the Eibusher wants us to keep Shabbos, the ratzin of the Eibusher is going to be forever. We're going to be doing it. Elamai, what does it mean mitzvahs are b'teils? Because the Eibusher is not going to have to. The Eibusher is not going to have to tell us to do it. We're not going to have to be mechuyev in doing it. It's going to be memele. It's going to be automatic. Yeah, the Rebbe says mitzvahs meloshin safsa v'chibur. But the Rebbe says that after doing the mitzvahs now in Aveda and Golos, that mitzvah meloshin safsa v'chibur, that we're doing our Aveda of connecting ourselves with the Eibusher. So Lasid Lovei, once we finish the Aveda of connecting ourselves with the Eibusher, we will be so one and so connected to the Eibusher that the Eibusher won't need to tell us to do it. The Eibusher won't need to command us. So being the command is going to be batul, but the mitzvah, the ratzin of the Eibusher, the tefillin, the Shabbos is not changing. So yeah, even in Eilam Haba, even by Tchias HaMesim. So to make a sikkum, we have the Gemara says that mitzvahs are b'teils lasid lovei. Machlekes, what does it mean? The Ritva takes a kipshuti that love that by Tchias HaMesim we're not going to be chayiv mitzvahs anymore. The Rashba says it's not literally; it just means while they're dead, you're not chayiv mitzvahs. But once they come back to life, they're still chayiv mitzvahs. And so the Rebbe has a taich. The Rebbe teiches that attack and mitzvahs b'teilis, but it doesn't mean literally. It means that a mitzvah has two things. There's the command, and then there's the ratzin. Lasid Lovei, we're going to be so one with the Eibusher. The Eibusher won't only command us and to tell us to do it. We will be doing it automatically. That's the discussion. We should be zeicha that we should. Yeah, should go shein. Should be attack and mitzvahs b'teilis. Should be derech memela.